After we picked up the marriage certificate, my cheap husband handed me a stack of papers 5 centimeters thick. "We're just in a partnership," he said. "The marriage lasts a year. After that, we split. Sign if you agree." Some time passed. I got up late at night to use the bathroom and caught him sneaking a phone call. "Does the pity act really work?" he whispered. The next day, I saw him with my own eyes soaking a thermometer in warm water and then putting it in his mouth. When he noticed me, he tried to act casual. "I think I might have a fever," he said. I married Alex, purely for our mother's amusement. Those two, years ago, were like sisters from different mothers but then fell out. They recently bumped into each other at a park's matchmaking corner and got all emotional. All their grudges vanished. Conveniently, they both had kids. Even more conveniently, both kids were of marriageable age, suitable gender, and orientation. And that's how we ended up here. "Come closer, you two newlyweds," called out the photographer. After a bit of awkward silence, "A little closer," he repeated. More silence. The photographer sighed and clicked the shutter. With the red backdrop and a little official stamp, it was a done deal. Everyone else seemed thrilled with our setup. The moms left, arm in arm, laughing loud. Alex and I stood together, barely knowing each other. Things got awkward real fast. Deciding that we did have to live together after all, I tried to break the ice. "Hey, remember when you played at your house and I played at mine?" I said with a nervous chuckle. Alex gave me a cold stare, like I was a stray dog. Wasn't that funny? I thought to myself as I silently blushed. A sleek, bronzy car pulled up in front of us. The driver got out respectfully, bowed to Alex, and opened the back door. Alex nodded and got in with a majestic gesture, looking every bit the proud young master. I squinted, taking in the scene. Wow, this guy seemed pretty capable. The rear door was still open. "Had your fill of looking? Want me to come help you?" Alex quipped casually. I pursed my lips. The car only moved once I got in too. Driving through posher and posher streets, the traffic dwindled and the cars got fancier. By the time we stopped in front of a low-key, luxe villa, I was genuinely shocked. One of those places you can't even buy with all the money in the world. Turns out this guy really has it all. Alex's chauffeur opened the door for him. I had to get out on my own, trailing behind him. Walking into the villa was like stepping into an ice-cold minimalist gray palette. Even the housekeeper, Wendy, was completely devoid of color. Curiously, I took in my surroundings. Alex lounged comfortably on the couch. Instantly, someone served him steaming hot tea. He sipped quietly, eyes down. Next, a secretary-like guy approached me, rudely polite with a standard smile, handing me that 5-centimeter thick file. "Christina, take a look." Suspicious, I took the hefty thing and sat down. Unveiling the cover, Christina and Alex marriage partnership details. What's going on? Alex finally put down his cup. Like it says, we're only in this for convenience. I'm here to make my mom stop bugging me. I figure you're in a similar spot. It's a 1-year deal. After that, we'll part ways. Sign if you're cool with it. I skimmed through the file. Half business, asset splits, company partnerships, and half Alex's personal rules. Including, but not limited to, no entry into his study or bedroom, no touching his stuff, no bothering him without reason. I frowned as I read. There were also a few blank pages. What are these for? I asked, lifting them up. For your requests. Let him know what you want, Alex said, gesturing towards the secretary, before leaving for his room. The secretary smiled his usual customer service grin. Miss Christina, just tell me what you need. I quickly signed my name, without adding conditions. He seemed a bit surprised but left with the document. Roommates sharing a space means separate rooms, of course. The room he gave me wasn't bad. It ditched the icy tones, blooming with sunny yellows. Bright and welcoming, it felt like another world behind a single door. I had a peaceful night. The next morning, I whipped up breakfast in the kitchen. Alex, tying his tie, came downstairs. Seeing 2 plates in my hands, he coolly said, "You don't need to make me breakfast. I only eat what Wendy prepares." Wendy, a cook with top-notch skills, was on leave. Alex didn't even glance my way and walked out. Seriously? Who makes breakfast for a 2-day acquaintance? Not me. Both plates were for me alone. On the 3rd day, I emerged holding 2 plates again, finding Alex at the table with a newspaper. He glanced up, folded his paper, and reached for one of my plates. I snapped back, "What are you doing?" Frozen, his hand hesitated before withdrawing slowly. He mumbled something, his face changing colors. Suddenly, I understood and placed the plate down, awkwardly scratching my head. "My bad, these are mine. Want some? I can make more." Embarrassment flashed across Alex's face. "No need. I was just, gonna help you." I didn't buy it. But I held my tongue. His red ears, mixed up shoes, door fumbles, I could have laughed. But I might have laughed myself out of the house. After that, I didn't see him at home for 3 days straight. Wendy mentioned, "Sir's busy with work." We talked next when I was in my room, painting. The studio's orders have been piling up for days. Just as I sent the last picture to the client, there was a loud bang as the door swung open. I turned to see Alex standing there, looking as grumpy as ever. "What's up with you?" His chest rose and fell a couple of times. "Come to my room," he said. Huh? Surely, he's not getting all romantic now. Alex grabbed me and pulled me along. The distance between our rooms wasn't too far, just enough for me to notice the chat on his phone screen. His mom was asking if we were sleeping in separate rooms. His repeated reassurances only seemed to make things worse. Alex's mom was about to explode. With no other choice, Alex had to provide some photo evidence. He opened the door, shoved me into the room, closed the door, and snapped a pic. Click. He captured my smile perfectly. Alex stared at his phone, suddenly lost in thought, his ears turning red. "Did it turn out bad?" I asked nervously. He put his phone away casually. "Nope. You can go now." With that, he nudged me out. The door almost hit my nose as it closed. I grumbled my way back, thinking we'd gotten away with it. But the older the ginger, the spicier it gets. The next day, Alex's mom showed up in person. At that time, I was caught up worrying about a client deadline. She rushed over, eyes glistening with tears. "Christina, I'm sorry you had to go through this." "Don't worry, I won't let you suffer," she said dramatically before rushing out again. I was left standing there, dumbfounded. That evening, Alex was in a worse mood than he'd been since we got married. He had a dark cloud over his face. "I thought we could make this work," he started, "but you want too much." What was he talking about? An early divorce? I frowned in confusion. "I don't get it." He cut me off before I could finish. "As you wish, you can move in tonight," he said. Move in? I'd only have to sleep on the floor. I was even more confused but decided to ask him, "Move in where? And why would I sleep on the floor?" Alex scoffed. "Move into my room, isn't that what you wanted? You even convinced my mom. Why are you pretending now?" I was furious, but some sanity remained. I figured out the situation. Staying calm, I replied, "Your mom came by today." Alex's face went rigid. I stepped past him to head back to my room. Suddenly, he grabbed my wrist. I heard him whisper, "Sorry." That was quick. My anger eased a bit. Then he added, "You still have to sleep in my room." "Why?" I questioned as I turned around, folding my arms. "Because my mom's holding Wendy hostage. She said Wendy won't come back home if we sleep in separate rooms." Selling this to me, Alex blushed and lowered his head. Who was this Wendy? Today, I didn't understand Wendy's appeal. A few days later, I nearly made her my godmother for some sweet and sour pork ribs. But that's a story for another day. At present, the urgent matter was sorting out tonight's sleeping arrangement. With only one bed and neither of us wanting to sleep on the floor, we both stood at either side of the bed, pillows in hand, in a standoff for what felt like 5 minutes. Alex caved in, putting a pillow barrier between us in the middle of the bed. I mocked him for being childish as I lay down, soon drifting off to sleep. The next morning, I woke up feeling hot, with sneezes coming from beside me. I sensed trouble. Carefully, I pushed away the 3 layers of blankets covering me and turned my head. There was a heavy, nasal chuckle. I quickly plastered on a smile. Oh wow, what's wrong? Poor Alex, towering at nearly 6'3", had only a sliver of blanket covering his belly button. The barrier we made had vanished. He had tissues stuffed up his nose. Why do you sleep like a tornado? You're stronger asleep than a bull. Oh wow, that was a nice little rhyme. I suppressed my laughter, covering my mouth with my fist. Couldn't you just reclaim the blanket? Alex burst out, do you really think I didn't try? I fought all night for this little piece. He shook the tiny scrap of blanket, his messy hair flopping along with his movements, the tissues slipping from his nose. Realizing he needed more tissues, he fumbled around. I couldn't hold it anymore and laughed so hard I nearly cried. As a result, Alex avoided me for 3 days, not even coming back at night to sleep. Though he wasn't around, Wendy was back. I requested her to come back. Alex's mom didn't argue when I went to ask for her. I ended up indulging in Wendy's cooking for 2 days, so happy I nearly forgot I had a husband. On the 4th day of my husband-free life, I was in the kitchen watching Wendy cook, waiting eagerly. But she stored every dish into bento boxes. Wendy, are we going on a picnic today? Christina, Mr. Alex hasn't been home in days. Let's take the food to him today. I was about to refuse, but recalling he was missing blankets because of me. Oh well, might as well. Wendy needed to go back home to babysit her grandkids after cooking, so I alone carried the 6-layer bento box and headed to Alex's office. The receptionist didn't know me. She glanced at me, looking like she understood something. Please have a seat. I'll let him know. I watched her pick up the phone, putting it down immediately with her lips barely moving. Right. She'd assumed I was one of those women trying to get close to Alex. I grabbed my box, ready to perform a disappearing lunch act. Just as I stood, I noticed a familiar figure out of the corner of my eye. Jack. The person turned around, surprised. Christina? What are you doing here? I smiled so my eyes crinkled, signaling the bento boxes. I'm here bringing lunch for Alex. Do you work here? Jack's expression changed a bit. You and Alex. Ugh. Just remembered that things are a bit awkward between me and him. How do I even describe it? Temporary couple? The kind that promises to separate after a year. Just when I was about to brush it off with a laugh, a voice as cold as ice rang out nearby. Christina, weren't you bringing me lunch? Alex emphasized the me with a bit of a gritted teeth vibe. My heart skipped a beat. I quickly ran over, yes, yes. Alex grabbed me and took me into the private elevator. As he turned around, I saw that the receptionist's face had gone pale. Once the elevator doors closed, Alex let go immediately. Don't talk to that guy again. Why not? Alex was visibly taken aback, a bit puzzled. After a moment, he awkwardly said, he's no good. I looked at his expression, suddenly wanting to tease him. Alex, are you jealous? His reaction was huge, cheeks turning visibly red. He raised his voice, no way. Just a reminder, cheat during the marriage, and you'll leave with nothing. Coincidentally, the elevator doors opened. An employee passing by was so startled they nearly dropped their ceramic cup, shattering it everywhere. The whole floor went silent. Alex stood there, stunned. I was shaking trying to hold in my laughter, quickly pulling him into the office. Once the door was shut, I tried holding back my laughter while taking out the food from the lunchbox. Alex gave me a side eye, then resignedly said, "Go ahead, laugh if you want." Ha 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 ha. I graciously laughed for a good 5 minutes. Alex angrily grabbed some chopsticks and started eating, putting a piece in his mouth. He asked, "Wendy's back?" "Yeah, I personally went to ask for her." "Oh." His face fell, looking a bit disappointed. I couldn't resist teasing him more. "Do you want me to cook for you?" Alex's ears turned crimson red. "No way." "Oh, not at all, huh?" I was gonna say Wendy's off tomorrow, and I'd cook myself. His actions slowed, expression ever changing. I struggled to hold in my laughter again. "Alright, so Alex will just have to keep ordering takeout tomorrow. Remember to bring me lunch tomorrow." He said the last 2 words particularly softly. Seeing his neck turn bright red, I decided not to tease him anymore. Since a few days ago, ever since we slept together, he seemed to stop pretending. I only eat Wendy's cooking. He wanted a lot, moving in meant sleeping on a cot. Now he's completely let himself go, showing his true colors. Bad temper, loud voice, and often threatening to leave. Speaking of leaving, I remembered today's main issue. After lunch, I asked him, "You coming home to sleep tonight?" Alex hesitated for a moment, then flashed a wicked smile. "Do you really want me to come home and sleep?" All right, thinking you can turn the table, huh?" I calmly stated, "Friendly reminder, Wendy gets 2 salaries, the other is from your mom." Meaning, your mom knows what we've been up to at home. Alex's eyes widened as he cursed, "Shit." That night, Alex came home. Recently, I'd gotten used to having his bed all to myself. Watching him shower, gather the covers, and crawl into bed, I felt a bit uneasy. "You're not drawing the line anymore?" Alex turned his back to me, showing the back of his head. "No, last time I got a cold." "Ugh, thinks I'm weak or something, huh?" I made a mental vow not to hog the covers tonight. Next morning, I woke up from being too warm. Good news, I didn't hog the covers. Bad news, I hogged him instead. I was wrapped around Alex like an octopus. Underneath, his muscles were solid, clearly well maintained. He replied, voice gravelly, "Awake?" I swiftly sat up, hee hee. "You have the worst sleeping habits." "Yeah, I really know." I tried to save face, "Say what you want, but at least I didn't take the covers this time." "Yeah, because you took me instead." Guiltily, I looked down, not daring to meet his eye. I didn't notice the slight dark circles beneath his eyes. "Bring me lunch later." Same lunchbox, same route. But there was a new receptionist. Out of curiosity, I asked why. Turns out the previous one left after some HR negotiations due to work errors. "Christina, you can take the executive elevator on the right." I nodded. Alex knew about me getting stopped yesterday afternoon, huh? Don't know why, but I felt a little smug. When I entered his office, he was deep in thought behind his computer, elbows on the desk, fingers interlaced under his chin, looking serious. Lunchtime. He snapped back to reality. "Oh, all right." Thinking work was troubling him, I didn't pry. But while serving the food, a bit of sauce spilled on my hand. "Can I use your restroom?" "Yeah, go ahead." Alex was still lost in thought. Really, what was bothering him so much? After washing my hands, on my way back, I glanced at his screen without thinking and caught sight of "with marriage partner" in big font. I steadied myself and read it all. Sleeping with marriage partner, couldn't sleep, what's up with that? First reply was, "You've fallen head over heels in love." I looked at the computer, then at the dazed Alex. Silent. We both had ulterior motives during that meal. That night, Alex offered to sleep on the couch. Happily agreed. But I didn't sleep well either. So this happened. He whispered, "Christina, you asleep?" Didn't dare answer. A while later, he sneakily climbed into bed. Easing into the covers, he carefully pulled me into his arms. His gentle breaths hovered above my head, his warmth wrapping around me. I stayed as still as I could, not daring to move an inch. Wait. Does he really like me? That thought had my heart racing. The morning sun peeked through the curtains, softly lighting up the hardwood floor. I nestled up against Alex, sleeping as sweetly as can be. His hand rested on my waist, his palms slightly moving. Guess he woke up. I asked, pretending not to know, "Weren't you sleeping on the couch?" "I was, but then you started sleepwalking and insisted I join you in bed." "My sleeping habits can't be that bad, right?" "Oh, they can be." Fine, fine." I almost stood up and applauded him. Lying with a straight face like it's nothing. I'm starting to think he did the same thing the previous nights, he just didn't admit it. And yet, he had the nerve to say I was the one stealing his space. Ha. After that, Alex never mentioned sleeping on the couch again. His excuse is that he's worried I'd disturb him with my sleepwalking. Didn't matter how we started the night back to back. By morning, we'd always end up cuddling. He always kept a straight face, claiming I was the one gravitating towards him. It made me laugh in frustration. One day, my computer broke. With his permission, I used the computer in his study. While searching for something on his browser, a whole load of search history popped up. What to do when your marriage is just an arrangement and there's no love. How to win over your wife. How to get your wife to cuddle with you at night. What to do if you can't sleep next to your wife. How to get your wife to say, "I love you" first. Thank you. Your wife saw your search history. She's decided she will never in her life say, "I love you" first. Good luck with that, buddy. I let out a chuckle and clicked on some questions. The answers were all over the place. Tie her up, do this, then that, pursue your wife, beats me, two-way affection needed. A proper relationship starts with a bouquet of flowers, here at Sweet Bloom Florist, confession bouquets from $999. I was shaking my head at this when my phone rang. An unknown number popped up. I answered. "Hello, is this Christina?" "Yes, who is this?" "This is a delivery person from the flower shop. Someone sent you a bouquet of roses. Can you come sign for it?" I glanced at the computer and rubbed my temples. Eventually, I accepted the roses. Spent the afternoon trimming and arranging the flowers. Then the phone rang again. This time, it was Alex's secretary. "Christina, are you free tonight?" "Yes, I am. The company has a dinner event, and Alex would like you to join as his guest. Can we pick you up?" "Sure, you can pick me up at the villa." If Alex dared to pull out a ring at dinner, he'd be a very convenient man for life. In the end, due to some oversight, the dinner with guests turned into a candlelit dinner for just me and Alex. The good news, no ring came out. I breathed a sigh of relief. Life went on at an unhurried pace. Alex would act up now and then, and I was completely used to it by now. But when it came to confessing feelings, neither of us brought it up. In an otherwise calm life, there's always a little twist. Something happened at my studio. I was running around non-stop for days, barely time to eat at home. Wendy sent food over daily. But the office crowd were voracious eaters, practically devouring meals like it's free lunch every day. I weighed my options and told them all to start ordering their own delivery. Whatever it costs, the company will cover it. Only then did I get some peace and enjoy Wendy's homemade meals. But today, Alex showed up with the delivery. He dressed up like a peacock, with new clothes and gel-styled hair. The girls in the office were all giggling and staring at me. It made my scalp tingle. Unable to stand it, I pulled him inside. "What are you doing loitering around here?" "Delivering food? I wanted to check out your work environment and bring you lunch." "Oh." I dragged out the word, "Thought you came just to see me." You've seen the place and delivered the food, so you can leave now. Alex's face fell immediately. Wendy made meals for 2. How about you take 3 dishes, and I'll take 3. Then you can go. I folded my arms, watching him struggle for an excuse. In the end, Alex admitted defeat. All right, I'm here to have lunch with you. That's more like it. I let out a soft humph. One dish in the meal looked terrible. I frowned, thinking it was a new dish of Wendy's. I hesitantly grabbed my chopsticks. Just as I put a mysterious piece in my mouth, I noticed Alex's eager, shining eyes fixated on me. Turns out the dish was his creation. Is it good? It's okay, just looks a bit interesting. Alex laughed. I spent the morning learning from Wendy. I noticed the blistered fingers and my heart softened. I took a few more bites. Alex beamed with joy. Eventually, the studio crisis was resolved thanks to a team dedication of late nights and all-nighters. We even landed a handsome commission. Everyone was clamoring for a break. I generously granted a week off. The new intern seemed restless. Despite joining on the second day, he kept grinding along with us. While everyone else looked drained, he was full of energy daily, like he feeds off of others. Made us all reminisce about the vigor of youth, never short of enthusiasm. Like now. While everyone packed up their temporary beds, pillows, and blankets to head home. The intern took his time, somehow asked if I wanted to join his birthday party, all ears red. Sure, when? The day after tomorrow. Will you really come, boss? Thinking I had nothing planned and had time to get a gift, I agreed. Just then, Alex pulled up outside the studio with his flashy sports car. He hurried in and wrapped an arm around me. What's going on here? The intern turned pale. Boss, who is this? Your boss's husband, official with the paperwork. You're too young to be making bad choices. I nudged him. Stop talking nonsense. Which part is nonsense? I rolled my eyes, sending the intern away first. Alex grumbled. What did he want from you? He invited me to his birthday party. I think he's up to no good. These young guys, I can spot them from a mile away. Noticed something? You didn't see that sly grin plastered all over his face? Nope. Alex was mad. His way of showing it? Opening my car door but not shutting it for me. After lounging around the house all day, I went out to get a birthday present for the intern. To keep a certain Alex from getting irrationally jealous. I got him something too. In the evening, when he got back from work, I handed him the gift. Alex looked a bit stunned when he took it. A little while later, I noticed him typing away on his phone. So I opened a certain blue app. Searched for F and up popped Alex's account. There was a new update. What does it mean when your wife gives you a brooch? Replies. A brooch on the chest means your wife's got you in her heart, making moves. Been following your updates for 6 months, you're finally close to winning her over. Never seen love come this slow after marriage. Folks, we're here to celebrate our interesting gentleman, finally getting the girl. A smile spread across Alex's face. I teased him, what's got you grinning like that? He quickly put his phone away, trying to act serious. Nothing. Oh, I gotta attend the intern's birthday party tomorrow. Won't be back for dinner, don't wait for me. Alex's smile started to fade. Do you really have to go? Yep, no choice. I snuggled into my room, laughing as I scrolled through my phone. After a few refreshes, Alex's account updated again. What to do when your wife insists on going to the Green Tea Boy student's birthday. Nosy internet folks started a frenzy. Break it up, folks, the guy hasn't sealed the deal. Told you not to pop the champagne too soon. Username reverted, still the guy chasing his wife for half a year. Comments were a mess, and I laughed under my covers. In the middle of the night, I suddenly lost the warmth next to me, hearing some shuffling sounds. Alex wasn't back after a bit. I got up to use the bathroom. Light was seeping out from the bathroom door, along with faint talking. I paused my hand mid-air. Bullshit, my wife's gonna run away. Your sob story's not working? If it doesn't, you're screwed. I just quietly went back to bed. The next day, Alex didn't go to work. I saw him with my own eyes, using lukewarm water to heat up a thermometer before putting it in his mouth like it was legit. He gently nudged me awake, coughed a bit like a weak willow in the wind, handing the thermometer to me. In a hoarse voice, he said, "I think I've got a fever." I looked at it. 37.9 degrees. It was a fever, quite a high one too. So, what do we do? I think I need someone to stay home and take care of me. How about Wendy? She's gonna take care of her grandkid today. With that, I turned to leave. Wait. Alex quickly got up, grabbing onto me. Can you even handle Wendy's grandkid? Why not stay with me? I'm easy. Nope, I'm busy. I even got a gift ready for the birthday party. Alex's brows furrowed. You got him a gift too. What did you get? Something similar to yours, I guess. Though actually, it was a cheap little watch for the intern and a 6-figure brooch for him. Alex clutched his chest, slowly lying back onto the bed. Muttering, I really think I might have a fever. I can't make sense of anything. I chuckled inside. Still played it cool on the outside, drink plenty of warm water, I gotta go now. Alex suddenly hugged me from behind. What are you doing? I don't want you to go. Why not? He held me, stepping back until he sat on the bed edge. Following his lead, I ended up sitting on his lap. Alex's voice was muffled. You can't see that intern's intentions? And you can't see mine? What intentions of yours? Frustrated, he grabbed my head, looking like he wanted to seal my lips. I pushed against his forehead. What's our relationship to be kissing? Legal spouses should be kissing. With that, he pulled me in, pressing my head down for a kiss. Warm, damp lips touched mine. Alex lacked any sort of rhythm, nibbling chaotically. Several times I yelped from pain, pushing him away. Alex's eyes watered. You don't want to kiss me but go kiss that intern? How does that even connect? I reached out to feel his forehead, ensuring no fever. Then hopped off the bed. You've got 5 minutes to explain, or it's off to civil affairs 6 months from now. The moment I sat down on the couch, barely settled my butt on the upholstery, Alex rushed in. Already thought it over? Nope, just making sure you don't sneak off to any birthday party. I sighed. Alex rubbed his palms. Christina. Yeah? I like you. Roses were ordered by me, candlelit dinner was arranged by me, not wanting you at the party? That's my jealousy talking. You've never even been around for my birthday. Alex grumbled, while still eyeing my reaction. I pondered a bit before replying, not letting your wife say, I love you first. Alex froze, his ears turning red. How'd you know? Accidentally saw it on your computer that day. So did you see everything else? Sure did, and now I know your username is F. Alex blushed, completely frozen. He barely managed to ask, do you like me? Duh, wouldn't have accepted your roses otherwise. Once again, my words got stuck in a kiss. At least this time, Alex didn't bite. By the way, when did you start liking me? Probably during that photo. I thought, recalling that photo with his mom checking in, where he pulled me into his room. That early? Alex said, first time I felt my heart race, and it was just a photo. After a morning of this, I remembered the intern was still waiting on me. I quickly called Alex's assistant. I asked him to deliver a gift for me. Alex wasn't pleased. Did you give him a brooch too? A watch, and it cost 1,000 times more than yours. Then he was satisfied. When the assistant dropped by, he made sure to emphasize. Make sure you tell that fool my boss is off the market, so he should back off. Then he turned to me and said, or maybe you should just fire him. I handled it professionally. In the end, that intern got fired for overly interfering in my personal life. The day he left, Alex was so happy he gave everyone the afternoon off. The year was almost up. I found that document in his office. I walked over to him and solemnly opened it. I read, Terms of the Marital Cooperation. Alex rushed over and grabbed it from me. What document? I didn't write that. How come I haven't burned this one yet? We're just partners. After a year, we divorced due to irreconcilable differences. Or something like that, Alex said. I was wrong, honey. I should have slapped myself back then for saying that nonsense. Come on, how could Alex, the CEO, go back on his word? Alex was in a panic. I'm sorry, honey, I really am. Let's move on, please. His reaction was so funny. I would tease him with those words now and then. Like late at night. When I couldn't sleep, I'd whisper in his ear. Cooperation, 1-year marriage, divorce due to irreconcilable differences. Most of the time, Alex would wake up instantly, pull me into his arms, and babble to comfort me. He'd go from I'm sorry, honey, to I love you. When the day finally arrived, he suddenly got all dressed up. I was curious. Then, in the morning light, he dropped to one knee. I was in pajamas, hair a mess, eyes puffy. Alex looked at me like that and pulled out a ring. Christina, hello. Allow me to formally introduce myself, I'm Alex. Would you marry me? My hands trembled as I reached out. The cool ring slipped onto my ring finger. Alex gently kissed the back of my hand. All right, now my bride, get ready. Our wedding countdown officially begins. Huh.